Healthcare has always been a hard pill for working class people. They typically don't deal with it unless they're sick.
One of our largest employers is the steel industry, and we're grateful to have that industry in our backyard. But the reality is it has, over the decades, polluted our airs and sometimes even our waters. There's been a lot of impact. A lot of people with asthma, a lot of individuals that worked for decades in these mills that may have respiratory issues, carcinogenic issues that have resulted in some type of form of cancer. I'm not saying that's directly related to the meal, but it could be. You put on top of that, we have a hospital that has struggled financially.
The infrastructure, right? Housing, access to and even understanding healthy nutrition, right? And health care. All of those play their dramatic impact on individuals.
When you don't have healthy food, you don't have healthy people. When we don't have healthy services, you don't have healthy people, and so consequently people become demoralized, and their behavior begins to reflect that.
People are trying to keep their head above water, trying to find employment, kids in homes, single parent homes where it's hard. They have to work, take care of their kids, try to keep food on the table, and it's a lot of mental stress on people.
As this city revitalized, it is very important that a person is able to get their mind out of poverty mentality, out of lack, out of the I don't know if I can get ahead type of thing.
I think too many people, leaders in the region, didn't see that the health and success of Gary is the health and success of the region.
My name is Michael Pirtle. I'm the pastor of the City of Refuge Christian Church. Also the executive director of Emma's House, which is a recovery home for women, and the originator of Liberty House Recovery Cafe, which is a peer-based services that we provide to the community, as well as the originator of Recovery Happens, which is a peer-based service where we advocate for those that are in recovery.
My name is Alexis Nelson. I am a social worker. I am also the founder of Be Exceptional Support Together, where I work with families who are exceptional. And that means all abilities, from autism, from Down syndrome, whatever it is. I help provide resources. I advocate for the families. I connect them with a lot of different things, integrate them into society. I also work with Faith Community Center, where I work with the unhoused.
In my youth and growing up, I drank almost every day of my life. My culture drank. And so growing up and getting out of that environment, I found out that everybody didn't drink. Everybody didn't do what I was doing. And what I was doing was leading me down a path of destruction. So when I got out of that, it gave me a passion to want to give back and help people that maybe had the same mindset I had growing up.
We're here to celebrate recovery today. We're on this journey together. We cannot do it alone.
As a little girl, my mom would always take in people from the community, especially people who were in need. It didn't matter if you was a relative. I thought everybody was my cousin. And she always said, you know, you have to give. We have to give. We got to help people. And I would see my mother do it. And she also worked in mental health. So she would work with the exceptional community as well. When I was younger, I didn't realize it, but she was a Sunday school teacher and she worked with exceptional children. And so I saw that example before me. And I guess it inspired me to want to help people. And I saw the need. And then even more so when I became an adult, because God blessed me with an exceptional child. And I saw all of the barriers. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm a social worker, and there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know, that I should know. But it was so hard getting some of the resources and finding people who understood our community.
Our culture do not readily accept that we have a problem when it comes to somatic health, physical things, mental health.
In our community, mental health is a stigma. You don't want to say, well, I need help, or I need to go see a therapist. It's not something in our culture that we're so readily to do. It's changing some, but that's not the first thing. We just deal with it, or you'll get over it. And people are dealing with some real life issues.
Getting a person to a place of acceptance, removing the power of stigma that goes along with it, to where an individual can just truly accept, you know what, I need help, I have a problem. And once we can get a person to accepting that they have a problem, then we're well on our way to recovery. But getting people to understand that they have a problem in the first place many times is a big issue.
Across the country, more than 100 patients in 26 states are being monitored for possible coronavirus.
When COVID hit, and people were dealing with themselves, they had nowhere to go. They had to stay indoors, and it was a lot of domestic violence happening. It was a lot of suicidal ideation, depression.
Well, I know we've seen a lot of young students in the high schools going through a lot of turmoil, particularly with COVID, but they were going through it before COVID. COVID just exacerbated it. And quite honestly, it put the focus on this is not an African American issue. This is an issue, period.
Sometimes we're so busy doing things, we don't take time to care for ourselves. Just having someone that they can talk to or really navigate through what they're going through is essential, because they need to know that there's hope. There's hope. There's something bigger than what you think is going on with you. There's someone who can handle your cares, who can give you comfort, who can allow you to see that joy comes in the morning. And so I want to be in that place where I can say, hey, you are not your circumstance. This is just a moment, but it's how you're going to move past this moment that's going to make the difference. So, are you going to sink or do you want to sail? And I believe that you can sail.
I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care about any of that. What's important to me is to know that you care about me, that you genuinely care about me as an individual. And if I know that you care about me, then I'm more apt to work with you. I'm probably going to be motivated to even change because somebody now is at least trying to connect and understand my pain and willing to walk with me in this process.
I totally agreed with the Affordable Care Act. I thought that unless you dealt with prevention, healthcare is always going to be phenomenal. It's expensive, it's not equitable, it has high levels of disparities and always will. Healthcare is not a budgeted item, which is what we're trying to teach people now. Healthcare needs to be budgeted just like food. Just like food. You know, if you're gonna budget clothing and you'll spend $50 on a pair of shoes, I don't care what they are, you know, you need to have a budget for healthcare because at some point you're gonna need it.
Indiana has the worst infant and maternal mortality rate, probably one of the worst in the nation. Our overall funding of healthcare is at the bottom rankings of the nation. And typically, if the state is at the bottom, Gary in Northwest Indiana is probably leading the charge in terms of the worst of the data, being we're the most diverse of minority populations next to Marion County, Lake County, and Gary, and East Chicago, and Hammond. We have that, we're up there with Marion County, Indianapolis area. So from cradle to grave, we have to make sure that the lifespan of individuals improve, the quality of life is improved. So we have to be mindful of environmental issues, day-to-day healthcare issues, education, and educating mothers on how to have a healthy pregnancy, giving them the support system, and that includes having adequate transportation, having access to adequate healthcare. Because what if your doctor or your pediatrician is not in a Gary? Will you have access if you don't have a car to get to him or her in Munster, in Maryville, in Crown Point, that's not on a bus route? Those are the day-to-day issues that if we're not talking to the community, you and I may not even know those issues exist.
Healthcare is realizing that they have to have more accessibility. And accessibility means greet our people where they are. Don't say, you've got to find us. We need to find you. And that's why having things like the federally qualified healthcare, community health net right on Fifth Avenue, those are the kinds of places where our community, Dr. Seabrook has expanded the infrastructure so that not because I want a whole bunch of brick and mortar, but I can have services. Whether you come to a school, whether you come to a place on the east side, west side, north or south, she wants you to have someplace you can go. And then in Gary, we have several. You know, you've got Edgewater, you know, which is dealing with the mental health side of it and saying, not only do you have to have mental wellness as well as physical, but again, access. Miram came in and they're doing that across the street from IU. And their whole piece was homeless. And see, each one of these federally qualified health centers, they have a target population. So everyone, I mean, I know they may be somewhat competitive, but in terms of the people we want this information to go to, there is no competition. What do you need?
we all have basic needs, okay? Maslow hierarchy of needs. Most basic need that any human being would need would be food, shelter, and clothing. And so when you've taken a person that has been deprived of those needs, it definitely impacts them mentally, it impacts them emotionally, almost like trading places if you've seen the movie. When you take this person that was homeless and you put him in an environment that's self-sustaining, that person became a very successful, prosperous businessman because of the environment that he was placed in. You took the man that was successful, put him on the street, took his food, his clothing, his shelter. He became very deviant. He became very criminogenic because his basic needs wasn't provided. So when you provide and make sure that those basic needs are met, then you can start building a person.
We have what we call Faith Community Center East, where we have housing for those who, we call it emergency housing, where sometimes people are falling on bad times, or they may not have an employment at the time and they have children. We do not want to see our family's children go into foster care because they don't have housing. So what we do is we provide that shelter so that won't be an issue. And we believe in partnering with other people so we can bring the resources to the citizens of Gary so they can get what they need. We have different organizations that do that work from providing employment, providing trades, providing mental health services. And we have that holistically in the Faith Community Center. Could we use more help? Absolutely. However, I know that there are a lot of people doing a lot of good work in Gary. And because we get to work with some of those great people, we get to work with people who are providing food, emergency shelter, not just that, recovery services.
Emma House is a recovery home for women. It's two demographics of women that we service there. We service women that are struggling with substance use disorders, as well as we support women that are transitioning out of the criminal justice system. And a lot of those women that come, many of them have not been used to having the basic needs of their life met. Many of them that come might not know that you can't put cooking oil down the kitchen sink as a way of discarding oil, or those basic things that most people already know how to do. And so some of them start off at ground zero, but the staff that we have there connect with them, they treat them with the utmost amount of respect and teach them the basics of life. And those women's lives are being transformed day by day, either transitioning into the community, not recidivating and committing other crimes, or being totally set free from drug addictions. In my experience, and I've been doing this since 1996, most people that are struggling mentally, and most people that are struggling with some form of substance use disorder are looking for spiritual wholeness. And it takes that spiritual peace to truly bring a person into what we would consider healthy.
Since this is a faith-based conversation, I believe that we can get it accomplished if we believe that God will give us the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding to make the right decisions as leaders and community leaders.
Holistic healing is speaking about mind, body, and soul, or mind, body, spirit, and soul. And mind, of course, is the same thing as the soul, but it's important that we understand that we make people healthy from the inside out. I say you can't throw money at it and expect it to be well. No, we have to get inside the people, give them a vision, because without a vision, the Bible says people perish.
It's going to take that the spiritual thing to work from the inside out, to give that person the power to change. I beseech ye, brethren, by the mercy of God, that you present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, with your reasonable service. Be not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
The most important business is God's business. And many times people get the idea that church is supposed to be a place where you just come, you sing, you lay hands on people, they fall down, get up, feel good. And that's not what it's all about. It's about being empowered in the church, being educated, being informed, developing a passion enough to go into the highways and the byways, go into the marketplaces, go into cities that are dilapidated, and to minister and to reach people who have lost their way.
In my professional career, we're taught not to bring our religion into it, right? We're not supposed to enforce or press our religion on others unless they ask you, and then you can bring it in. But most of the people that come to me, they want prayer. They need hope. And honey, I'm gonna get down there and I'm gonna pray with them. Yes, I am. And I'm going to tell them, because we've all had experiences. And I like to share with them, like, I may not know exactly what you're dealing with, but I know how it is to hurt. And I know how it is to feel like, where is somebody? I need somebody. Somebody save me, please. I understand that. So it's my opportunity to say, do you believe?
Everyone has been very supportive. I appreciate you checking in like you do, keeping you updated with everything. It's just been helpful, from the spiritual help to the just having somebody to talk to. It's helped my girls a lot. We learned some patience and how to, live with other people and, be humble and try to understand everybody comes from different walks of life. We're all here for a reason.
It's a matter of understanding that we're not just in religion, we're in relationship with purpose. And that purpose consists of using the gifts and talents that God has given you for the common goal of reaching souls. And that is what His commission that He has given to the church or to the world, to go into all the world, so that we can help people to be what God called them to be. Presently, we have in the city of Gary 4 community locations. The goal of these locations is to provide services or goods to people who have real needs. 2 community centers, the East Side location, which we call now Faith Community Center East, which was formerly the Willow Glen Academy, is used for the purpose of educating and also providing housing. In the North Side, there's the Faith Community Center North, where here at the old former Salvation Army building, we call Faith Community Center North. That's a 74,000 square foot building that we're using for holistic healing. Of course, our church is at 15th Avenue, the former Davis Seafood Restaurant. In the front of that, we're looking for that front part to be turned to a restaurant so that we can provide services for the community. Then finally, across the street on 15th, our recent location, which is 6 acres of land. We plan on using that for farm to table, for food preparation and distribution. It has a motor pool where we can do the indoor growing, hydroponics or aquaponics, and we have growing things going in now through Chaplain Carmen, who's doing a wonderful job with her growing, and we're just thankful for the space to provide resources and services for the city of Gary.
We had to define farm to table because there's this generic notion of what that is, but for each individual, each space, it should be very definitive. So we've defined that what that is. It's a space where people can continue to grow the little things, if you will, because we grow things that enhance the big things, if you will. So we grow your herbs and your spices and things like that. So the farm to table for this site this year, from this location alone, we actually donated almost 200 pounds. That's a lot for people who don't grow green beans and tomatoes to Faith Temple's food pantry. So we were really pleased. Most of that were tomatoes, peppers, and squash. But it was a wonderful start for us. I believe that when we are in tune with the earth, gardening, just actually touching the soil in general, that's a healing process. I believe that's a gift from God. So healing is in the soil. What we come from heals us, and what we put back in us heals us. So I think what he is saying to us when he says agriculture, which is why I always encourage everybody even to do a little container gardening at your home, is because he is very clear that everything he's already given us, he says, I've given you the power to get wealth. He says, I've given you everything you have need of. But most people have an idea where there may be low poverty and limited number of grocery stores. Terms have been designated. I do not ascribe to those terms because I believe God. Because the Lord is my shepherd, there is no lack. That's one of my favorite translations of that. There is no lack. So for those who believe that there is none, I believe it's because it has been indoctrinated in a not so good way. But because we are the resources, then we can now refer people to agencies for those who have that level of faith. Or we can also encourage them to further their education for those who have that level of faith. And then we can also literally be that resource ourselves for those people who have that level of faith. So resources are everywhere. And there's so many wonderful agencies who provide.
Folks don't know what the opportunities are. They don't know what resources are available to them.
Creating opportunities for people who would otherwise move out of Gary because they see no hope will have to be done through an inclusive effort of organizations such as FaithWorks Networks, networking together with other networks and establishing educational services, workforce services through the 5 building trades, carpentry, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and HVAC. These are all major industry jobs that people who realize their value will appreciate because it will set them up to be better homeowners and to be able to make a decent living here in the city of Gary.
I think there are sustainable jobs, but folks don't know it, and they don't know how to get on that pathway to them. So that's the solution that we've got to identify with this conversation that we're having with multiple partners. The Center of Workforce Innovations is a nonprofit organization that is responsible for workforce development in the 7 counties of Northwest Indiana. We are contracted to staff and manage the local Work One offices, one in Gary here as well. What I try to do is bring resources to the people in the community. So FaithWorks, as an example, I'm not the one that can solve the problem. I just need to bring resources to bear to the individuals like Pastor Walton and the work that his team is doing in the community. I can't come from Valparaiso and do good work, right? But folks in the city that have the relationships, that are located here, that have the trust, that's when workforce development can happen. Because if you don't have that relationship with an individual or a resident, then they're not going to trust that the hard work that they've got to put in, right, to being prepared for a job is worthwhile or going to pay off or help them achieve their goal.
John is a go-getter, okay? And he takes a lead role in class. We're thankful for the privilege of being able to offer workforce, because when it comes to a healthy city, it needs a strong workforce. And so our goal with that is to provide some 700 people a year with that type of training through our location and perhaps others that will be involved in different locations so that we can make a healthy workforce. There's a sponsor representative where we can sponsor certain services at different locations. Presently, we have certified Faith Community Center North as a NCCER training center where we can provide these training services through Work One. These are national certifications that we can offer, which means that if someone took carpentry or they took heat and ventilation and air conditioning, they can go anywhere in the nation with that and work jobs for those type of services. And so that's a blessing that during COVID I was able to get that certification, and with that now being a provider with Work One, we're looking to provide services for the people. It's unlimited what God wants, because people have various needs, and God has need of us just as ultimately we have need of Him. And so when we do it His way, He will help us to fulfill our purpose.
We have a generation of kids and young adults right now that they're depending on your generation, my generation, to make the right decisions. So it's time to go to work.